Welcome to another video from me. I'm having a ridiculous amount of fun here. I have got my hands on one of these Eileen Hull Traveller's Notebook dies, and so I've cut out the pieces. That was one of the covers from my Big Shot machine, just using some mount board I got from the range. If you're not familiar with a die cutting machine, that's my one, just very basic Sizzix Big Shot. And I've used the die like that to cut out the pieces, and then I glued them together just with some tacky glue down the middle because the cover comes in two halves, and I'm now having tremendous fun decorating it. So first of all, I prepped the mount board with some gesso, which this is Winsor & Newton. It's easy to get from an art shop or online. And what it does is it protects the paper on top of the mount board from the paint, but also it just gives a really nice kind of canvassy feel, and it means that the acrylic that I'm using slides easily over the cover. So I'm using some Pabeo acrylic, heavy body acrylic. You can get this from Hobbycraft. I've got a mixture. I've got mainly the basic acrylics, but I've got a few of the metallic ones as well. And I'm just putting them on. This used to be a family rail card. So nothing flash here. This is just an old piece of plastic that I've cut up. And I really like this. I'm not experienced with palette knives and things like that, but I find just a bit of card does the trick, a bit of plastic card. I'm doing this in tribute to my friend Pat, because she loves bright colours. And normally I'm a real sort of vintage floral kind of girl. And some of us are going to get together and do a workshop making Traveller's Notebooks. And I was talking to the others about what sort of theme they wanted so I could get the right things in for them to use. And my friend Pat said, well, you know me, I like kind of bright colours and a lot of turquoise. So I thought I'd have a little experiment with paint first before I start looking for papers, because you can cover these with papers as well. But actually, I think that this is going to be a really fun way forward if anybody doesn't want to use paper. So yeah, look, I've used this card so much it's bending now, but it's still doing the job for me. So I'm just decorating this, and what I love is there's kind of no wrong way of doing it. I'm just having tremendous fun here. I want to get the spine as good as possible. This die means that you do end up with a bit of a change in height there where you've glued the two halves together, and I think that if I can paint it carefully then that won't show too much. Now I'm doing this on my dining table. My children get in big trouble for this, and I'm going to have to clean all the paint off afterwards. Normally I'm always saying to them, cover the table before you do stuff, but actually there's nobody else here, so I'm just breaking my own rules quite happily. And my piece of plastic card, which is now finally given up because I've used it so much. I've actually had this bit for quite a few years, and I've used it for all sorts of paintings and things. There we go, right. So anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just playing around with the paint, and if there's any I don't like, I just cover it up with something else. That's the great thing. You know, nobody's judging you when you're doing this stuff. It's just fun. It's not like school art where somebody comes and says, oh, that's not very good. This is just a bit of fun, and the finished result will be fine. It won't be perfect. Life isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. So I find that really liberating when you're doing this kind of stuff. When I've actually finished the painting and it's all dried, I'm going to use the instructions on the inside of the die to thread some elastic through the holes. And you'll see here there are holes in the actual board, and you can thread elastic through, and then what that enables you to do is to hold up to 4 notebooks in the middle. And then of course you can use the more elastics technique to put even more notebooks in if you want, and there's absolutely lots of stuff online about that. So that's just, I wanted a bit of green really to go with the yellow. Now I've got some of this Liquitex gold ink. I'm thinking I might splat some of that over it. just to see how that's going to look. So, oh yes, I like that. I don't know if you can see that, but this stuff's gorgeous. It's really shiny and it's going to look lovely. There, that'll do for now. Just up to the edges. So can you see that? It's really shiny, and when that's dry, it's going to look lovely. So the elastics that I've got to put in the middle are these 1-inch elastics. I got them off eBay. I've got a few different colours here. I think I'm going to use that lovely lime green to go on the book. And I'll have some strings inside, and then I'll have one coming out there which will close it. So the closure will go around the front, and I'll probably hang some little things off that just for decoration. So I might do another video later on